Good afternoon. I'm just getting set up. But welcome. Hello. Oh, there's a few little bits and pieces I do need to set up before anything else. I need to reduce some certain things to be able to make things work appropriately per platform, so to speak. But welcome. Hello. Happy 14.5 of Soulframe. Very, very cool stuff. Hope you're all enjoying the surprise update. Alright. First things first. Password. If I can remember it. Oh, there we go. Okay. Great. We're off to a good start. 1:28 p.m. 14:05 2026. We have an advertising break, surprisingly. So what we're going to do is ignore it. We're going to go see what... Oh, upgrades? Okay. We've got upgrades available? Let's have a look at Webbit Seeds. They always seem to be something I would like, and they don't stack. So, pray for me. More than one. Oh my god, we got 3. Okay. Excellent. So what have we got with you, Verminia? Let's go build these babies. We're gonna need them. Curads. We can wait for that. Dancing Golder. Very useful. Jaden drops. I will need those. And I will remake this. I consider whether or not I should just keep these at like 5. I guess I could just keep these maybe at 30. So what do we got? Yeah, bugger it. Wish we could make multiple potions. That would be nice. Sure, that will be something eventually we will get. I would hope. We're almost there. Almost at 30. Almost. I don't really use these all that often, but they're useful. That's for sure. Alright. 30 of those, 30 of these. I'm good for that. Cloud Quell, I never use them. So, hopefully, Cloud Quell becomes an elixir that empowers all of the other ones that we have.
Bring us back a morsel next time.
You've already got your cheesy snacks, Verminia. You don't need anything from else. From me. For now. So what upgrades have we got? Exactly. A whole bunch of points. Wonderful. That we can't use. Amazing. So I'm going to assume... Oh, okay. There's no... I'm going to rebuild Duello. I'm going to boost all the way into all the virtues, because why not? I'm going to see if I can run it without sympathy. Or maybe... Yeah, we'll try that. So Odiak with the courage-based joinery, we have 128 damage. The grace-based is the same. So what have we got this build? 152 armor. Wonderful. IQ. Hello. What do you call the bell divers? Ooh. Dropshipping. Without a doubt. They surprised the shit out of me yesterday. I did not expect that. They're amazing though. As far as the new bonk sticks though, initially I thought, really? I'm enjoying it to a certain degree, but I'm not exactly 100% on board with it, personally. There's also a nickname if you're a Halo fan. Odist. Oh yeah, I like that. Yeah, that's really cool. I like that. I think with like the dropship stuff, I really like that, to be honest. I think it's awesome. It feels very, yeah, like dropship and very much bell divers. I like bell divers actually. That's really nice. Halo's a dope game, by the way. I'm just trying to kind of figure out what kind of like build I want to be running, because I don't know how to feel about this whole system of rebalancing stuff. Like, I really don't align with having an economy around it, in all honesty. I like this. Like, this is nice. But also just don't know how to feel about the whole, hey, go and grab something to be able to redo this again. I'm still kind of like, yeah, play around with it, I guess, and kind of see how things go. I don't know why this notification, though, is not going away. I know that there's upgrades available. There's nothing I can do about it. Oh, that's what it is. It's alerting you to let you know that there's a Koga notification. Okay, maybe not. Maybe it's something to do with a pact, perhaps? No? Okay. Can I just float over this and just say, okay, I've acknowledged it, that I have 34 points in long blades that I can't use? You like the May system, but I wish it would only work for Ode weapons. I think overall, like, I haven't really played with it all that much, to be honest, so far, to kind of give it a really good hard run. I don't know how to really feel about it overall just yet. So I've seen a lot of feedback coming through for it. And it's very mixed, understandably, because it's still a new toy to play with in the game. What have we got? You know what? I'm going to do this one. And then I'll go back possibly to Mirror Fuel. Yeah, I think overarching feedback so far with what I have played around with so far, like, I like it so far. Initially, I didn't want it in the game. It's very Diablo, like, hey, go fuck around and re-roll something for 1 trillion hours trying to get some sort of like specialty weapon that, like, I like this stuff, like putting totems on it to spread the damage from the voltaic is awesome. I would like to see a system implemented very much with Tubalcane to give her the ability to learn all of these tempers, and then be able to translate those onto a reforging of a weapon, so we don't feel like we're wasting like weapon joineries and just the time that's taking to invest into like getting these weapons and then like spinning them out like every single time you get one, just for a potential like 6 roll for tempers. And that seems to be pretty much like the feedback mostly of what I've seen. It's fun. I like it so far, but I think the trade-offs of going and finding and farming out of one weapon to be able to get these tempers to a god roll. I'm not a gambler and I don't like it. So I think it's a bit of a half-half for me at the moment on this new system. So yes, I do understand it needs to be like tested and trialed and like gaining the temperature of what people feel about it. Initially, it's cool, but I don't want to see it spread further into any of the other weapons yet until we get something along the lines of being able to like get all of these learned tempers and potentially having that flow into, say, like the combat art system as an example. I would really like to see the combat arts be implemented into the game so we can create our own combat system. I think that would be really cool. And I think a lot of people would like that, because then we have reason to go and farm these specialty weapons that have the tempers in them. And then you've got an ability to channel that to something that you like. So I think it's a good test run for now. But I would really, really like to see the systems that are involved with these tempers to be categorically stacked like one step at a time, rather than, okay, we've got these, go and RNG the shit out of stuff, spend however long trying to get a top tier weapon that apparently is like ancient level or whatever. I've done that in other games, so I really hope that if this system is something that is going to be a mainstay, I would hope that it gets fleshed out in a way that there's reasonable returns on player investment in time and acquisition for the weaponry. I really do. It's probably however it sounds to you guys, but that's what I'm feeling at the moment. Like, I do like this. It's fun. I love the bonk stick. It's fucking awesome. Like, it's really fun. But I think as far as the tempers and the farmability and like just farming up the same weapon each time, it's going to be interesting to see how futuristically this is going to work alongside with the systems of like Tubal Cain. Is she going to get the efficiencies around smelting down previous versions and learning the tempers? Like, that's a question I have, a very big question, because I don't want to jump into this game to just focus on one thing, which I'm not going to. I want to explore the game in its entirety, and also enjoy the fact that we do have really cool like things like this in the game. But I also want to know that there's an outlet and reason for me to go and grab these weapons without having to just sell them off, because to me that seems like it's a waste of time investment. So I would really hope that in the forthcoming Preludes 15, I would really love to see to Vulcane, get a reforging ability, something maybe added in here with reforging. So say for example, we've got a truckload of these, right? Instead of reforging the weapon, like smelt it down and give us, I don't know, something like a chance to pick one of these abilities that one of these weapons has, or multiple of them. So say for example, I melt this one down, I get the fleeting or fleet fling and the swinging blow added to a repertoire of her things that she's able to replicate that recipe and then rebind it as like player choice. Essentially looking at what kind of materials that we currently have in the game, and then perhaps aligning like your metals, your pearls, your moronites, your gossamer quartz, maybe perhaps even some of like your fauna and flora, rotted fronds, perhaps. You know, we've got so many elements in this game that could be utilized, like the iron ingots, brass ingots. What are these for? So if you're going to be doing, say, like a smelting system or introducing something as such, give us a reason to use these, perhaps to smelt something down, obtain these items, go back to Tubalcane and reforge it with a learned ability, and then grow that particular weapon to like its maximum capacity. So, you know, rules of 3 as an example, it seems like it's a very common theme throughout the game. You know, we've got 3 virtues, like initially 3 prisms, now 1. With the tiered systems of this particular weapon, have your military, have your officer, and then have like, I don't know, your Odin style weapon, which is like your top tier weapon basically, and be able to smelt these down. So perhaps it'll take 3 of these, you know, it takes all of these recipes from here, and then you can melt all of those down into the ingots, and then, you know, you have your brass, your iron and steel, and then you can reforge a completely brand new weapon with, say, all like 3 major slots, rather than having like 6 different, from what I'm understanding, the tempers. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4. So what's that? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So it looks like there's about 8 tempers in the game, from what I can see. So there's breakneck, rejoinder, full force. So there's the 3. Bounding swipe, galvanic strike. So that's 6. Venger, swinging blow. And I think that's it. Yeah. So, you know, you've got that amount of tempers. So, yeah, there's just a lot of new stuff to take into account and kind of understand, like, where is this going to go? So as far as the farming up of these tempers and these maces, like, it's fun, it's something for people to do, but also I am noticing a lot of people in general terms are kind of saying, I don't want to see this, like, I've done this in other games, and it's like literally just sitting there gambling the whole time. And it's very, like, it's very ribbon based, and ribbons are very good, but they're a cream on top, and there's people who really enjoy that, and there's people that don't. So essentially taking that into account, I think, sure, if this is going to be something that's going to be a mainstay, I really hope that with the accessibility of being able to farm up, you know, a particular weapon with the tempers, then we have an outlet for them, rather than just focusing on just really like obtaining one weapon and then just having to re-roll that and sell off all of these extra weapons that are taking up your universal slot space as well. I can't really give a lot of feedback on what the new players are going to be feeling about it, because it's a brand new system for them. So essentially it's part of like the new player experience already. But as someone who's been playing since Preludes like 8, I'm not really sure how I feel about this just yet. In its entirety, because I don't know, is it really worth like me doing this, and for how long? And do I really want to just keep on running the same kind of like headless hunt, trying to figure out, okay, where's the next banneret with the bonk stick? I don't really want to just be honing in on just one particular enemy just for the chance of getting a particular weapon just yet. But it's something that I'll have to do for now. So inherently, it's a kind of a double-edged thing for me. But granted, all that being said, I don't have to do it at all. So yeah, I think as far as this particular new thing, I guess I'll kind of see what happens alongside everyone else when we get a little bit more of an understanding of what this is going to look like futuristically within the game. But I really do hope at least we get something along the lines of a smelting capability and being able to replicate these recipes and to rebuild and reforge our own weapon basically in our own style. I think that will actually work really, really nicely, and it will make the farming worthwhile, in my opinion. Or even, like, I don't know, selling these off to the faction leaders, you know, and they can give you maybe like an upgradable base weapon with something that gives you one of these tempers. Like, I like the idea. But yeah, I think with the running around farming one particular weapon, I just want to kind of know how long is this gonna be running for before we can kind of step into, okay, well, this is what the benefits are going to be for the tempers and how we can utilize them, rather than it just being a potential drop chance on the weapons that we're picking up, basically. But I mean, that being said, like, what are you guys feeling about it? Like, I want to get feedback on it because, yeah, I just kind of want to know how people are feeling it out, really. Where is this little chump? Come on, bud. Oh, thank God we got the swing. And not good enough. Oh well. Now, are these life elixirs actually healing us? Oh, they're not giving the life regen they were yesterday. That's not good. I have to say though, the playstyle of this weapon though is sensational. So it's not all doom and gloom. I actually love the fact that we got this weapon in the game. It's really fun, and this voltaic is really nice. Like, very cool. And the tree fell on top is sensational. I feel like an absolute boss. Oh, here we go. Can we just get that backhand as well? Yeah, I mean, like, that's fun. I love this weapon style. Its combat feel is very nice. I think, yeah, just as far as the tempers go, I'm like, not really 100% sure on them just yet. Alright, so there's one little avocado. Hey, bird. What you doing? Being all caged. Now, do you damage me? No. Okay. I've got to say, the enemies just being flung everywhere is extremely satisfying. So there's one little dude up there too, okay. Oh, I hear you. Where you at, bud? There you are. I do want to go check out these, the bell divers though. They're really cool. I have had a few drop into the game, but they didn't produce any enemies though. You are free, friend. So what have we got? So there's the exit, and then I'm gonna assume that little dude is probably up high. Unfortunately. Yeah, it looks like it. Alright, we'll go get him. Oh, Benny Red. Bring it on. Even like a light heavy on her is pretty good. Can you please be the ultimate version? That'd be nice. I doubt that it will be, but we'll see. Military, military, military. Officer. Officer. Military and military. I don't even know which one it would have been. So 162. 130. I have no idea where to get this little dude. This way? No. Are you here? Maybe. He's definitely a while away. He's behind me. Are you up here? I kind of wish we had the ability to use, say, something like a super jump. Just so we can get up to like stuff like that. Gosh, it's been a while since I've been in this tile set. I need the stairway up, please. This can't be the highest area. Oh, there we go. Oh, right, okay. Little apricot. Where would you be? Alright, you're definitely near. Hello. Would you like a bonk stick that I never bother using block with? See, that's cool. It does push the voltaics back on them, so that's nice. I like that. I think that's really good. Where would you be, little man? There you are, okay. I think that's crazy they can block that. Like, the Great Shield dudes I can understand, but a singular little blade against a bonk stick? I don't think so. I think that is done. Nope. Right, Fat Rat. Where you going, bud? Are you stuck? Kind of. Oh. Okay. I'm going to assume it's downstairs. And that's a dead end. Wonderful. I've done the cages, though. All three, as far as I'm aware. And a dead end. Okie dokie. I'm going to take the elevator back up. Can't be bothered doing the stairs. Hey, the button can go down. Sacrilege. I'm going to ignore you. Little fat rat. So there's that. So it must be downstairs a bit. Are you going to actually take me where I'm supposed to go, bud? To the pub. Clearly. Yeah, I really do like this weapon, and the green highlight stuff on the doors is really nice. So this should be a mini boss, or at least the dungeon boss at least. What? I've done this route break though. View location. Okay. Maybe I've just got to finish the dungeon, I would assume. Hello. Wow, that doesn't connect at all. That does. Yeah, that's fun. I do like it. I'm thinking what I might do is probably run a Koga and then see... Wait, what? Oh, there's 3 more. Oh, okay. Yeah, good, bud. So this one's almost leveled. So does that mean most of the other ones are going to be relatively leveled? I do like the connecting with that. But I also want this dude's, like, double axe things. These look awesome. Like, so cool. How do I get you down? Oh, right, okay. Grapple. Oh, it's up there. Yes, yes. I'll let you out, my friend. Just be patient. Oh, I like it when the mockery... Oh, wow, it needs sunlight. Interesting. That's cool. That's really cool. So 2 Moronite. That is good to see that. Moronite can be relatively difficult to get. Apart from Avocado. I wish he sold more. Although factions do sell it. I think it's more Silent Grace? Silent Rose. Silent Grace. And freedom. And okay. Sweet. Alright, bub. Where we going, my friend? I'm just gonna play with these. Just to switch. Alright. Is this a bonk stick lady? Sweet. We have yours. I want your bonk stick. Yeah, see, that move would be dope. That seems a bit savage, and I enjoy it. Thrice blessed by Moray. Okay. Alright. Which one are you? So, is that like a specific one to officer then? So the one that I've got is decent. Hmm. That one's a level 27. That one's 19, 22. Yeah. Yeah, I feel like these just stacking up against in your universal inventory. Hmm. I do feel that the Koga run would probably produce a much better variant of this weapon. Well, I would hope it does. So we might as well go do that. Where's the little silent rose dude? Or the drunk lady? I'm pretty sure it's the drunkard. Just had too much globid. Or glomin. Whatever it's called. Oh, drunkard lady. Oh, there we are.
Well, you're a fine killer.
Oh, wow, okay. Thank you. Oh, Spirit of Bickle? Hell yeah. Let's go get the bear. Excellent. This will be nice against the Vadagar bear. Ah, so this is the area I was thinking about. Is this open yet? Okay, no it's not. But it's open here. So good to note that. The omen beasts around is very cool. I wish to find more. I love that. Fiord, hello. New World Eternium was my main game. Ah, nice, yeah. I didn't actually play a lot of Eternium, to be honest. I did play New World myself when it first came out. But yeah, welcome to Soulframe, my friend. I did hear about a lot of the stuff that was shenanigans going down with New World, unfortunately. I really enjoyed it, to be honest. For the most part, I think the PvP stuff, it's not my style. But I really did enjoy like the faction stuff and or guilds and such. I really like the healing stuff in that, to be honest. But the one thing I really didn't like myself was being a newbie and then people basically just like ragging on you as soon as you leave your safe home and then they just steal all your shit. Yeah, it was a good game though. But welcome to Soulframe. Like, what's your feedback on it? May I have a little butterfly? Well, thank you. Oh, glass cage of emotion time. Okay. Tempest facade. Ooh, we got Mata? We got the Dorito ship? Hell yeah, we do. Alright, so she's over there. I want to go get this bear. And then, we'll go beat up Mata. Well, Nimrod. Alright, where are you, chump? I know that you're firing arrows up somewhere. Can you let me go? Let me go. There we go. You just got to sing to them. Right, let's go there. And then we'll go back. We'll do Nimrod. I think she only stays around for like half an hour, so I don't want to not have her and Nimrod again. I think this is... I think my second day in for this update. It's been good. A few bits and pieces I'm not overly upset on, but also being a pre-alpha, it's understandable that, you know, things need to change. Or evolve, rather. The graphics and world are similar? Yeah, definitely. It's really well done. Really, really well done. I love, like, Warframe as well, so the fact that the D's making this game makes me very happy. Really, really nice. But yeah, I definitely agree. The graphics and such, exceptional, especially for a pre-alpha. Live action combat the most? Yeah, I agree. Tag targeting is not for me? Yeah. Yeah. Not my kind of thing. I like a lot of the elements that Soulframe has. I really enjoy the play. I really enjoy the updates for the most part. Like, there's certain things that are a little bit more of a but I like this sort of shit here, like giant bears and the Fable stuff. That was really cool. But this is probably one of my favorite bosses to go up against. Really, really fun. The one thing I will say is when it's almost daytime, this mofo will just disappear, which is not ideal. But here's one of my favorite bosses. I kind of wish that we could get webbed seeds from him every time that we, like, killed his extra heads. That'd be nice. Okay, so we've got some visual effects coming through. What's your damage output like, my friend? It's not too bad. Holy, okay, so that does some damage. Nice. That's good to see that. Let's spin to win. I love this dude. It's such a good boss fight, man. Wow, the voltaics work really well on him. Holy shit. Okay. Give me a webbed seed. I've only got like 3. I would like more. Okay. And I have a replicant just hanging out with me. Alright, so what did that produce? Nothing special. Okay. That's alright. Let's go see Marta and Nimrod, because I'm keen to see what he's like. Oh, the music is amazing. I swear, everyone says that D is just like a music development studio in disguise, and just doing games, like, really well. But the music scores and the way that they develop stuff is insane. It's so good. Yeah, the music was great in New World as well, so yeah. It's been nice to see, I think, a lot of different play bases come and check out Soulframe. It's really, really nice to see that. I definitely think that Soulframe's got a lot of really good elements to it. And it's a good run. I really enjoy a lot of running around, you know, doing like the min-max stuff and figuring out what builds will work. Playing since the time that I started, it's definitely grown like very quickly, which is nice. And it's really good to see different player bases enter the game and just kind of see, you know, what the elements that they do like, what they don't like, what's working, and just seeing like how people are, I guess, digesting what's currently happening in the game. I love it. Like, I'm obsessed with it, pretty much. But I just enjoy the fact that it's got a very like open feel to it, but you can certainly localize in, you know, with crafting and going off and doing, say, like your world trees. This new system with this club is interesting. Not sure essentially how I feel about it just yet, but I mean, you've got to try something new. So like animal charming, like there's heaps. So I like the fact that I get to spend time just figuring out what's going to work, like with the packs as well. Virtue systems, the bosses that we can go up against, the world boss, or like martyr at least, on like times. I think it's like roughly a 6-hour timer kind of thing. But yeah, the music, the art, the story, essentially from what we know of it so far, I like the replayability, like absolutely love that. Being able to like go and find all of these different units throughout the world, and figuring out, you know, where to find them. It's really nice. There's a lot of really good shit in this game, and I love it. So it definitely hits a lot of different yeses for me. And considering that this is just the starting like part of the game, essentially, there's a lot to do. So yeah, I think so. Yeah, the UI is nice. Yeah, the immersion's really good too. And it's nice to see just new little bits and pieces being added every single time that they update. I was trying to figure out yesterday what the two little white bars underneath the the Pact Arcanics abilities were. Essentially, it's like experience for the weapons that we carry, and it was switching between. I was like, I don't understand what that means. So it's probably just a placeholder, but it'll be nice to see like maybe like a little icon or something that it denotes what weapon that you're utilizing. You don't need 20 slots. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I've played a lot of other titles like Diablo, GW2, Dota, like a lot of different titles really. And yeah, sometimes it's really overwhelming to see, you know, hey, like even WoW, like just all the icons everywhere, it was just overwhelming as fuck. So to see a very streamlined, clean kind of UI like this is refreshing, because you've got UIs in your Nightfold as an example, which is still being built on top of, which is really nice. So it's really nice to see an efficient, clean UI that it's not overwhelming to visually look at. It's relatively straightforward. I like the fact that the pop-ups show up. Sometimes they can show up. I kind of wish that we had like a bit of a timer gauge that we could say like show the notifications for like momentarily, or like 10 seconds or 20 seconds kind of thing. I think those little bits and pieces really make a difference for like quality of life, I think. I think also being like neurospicy person or just noticing everything, I tend to I can miss stuff pretty quickly. So I think yeah, it's really nice to see just really clean looking UIs. So there's not as much stuff being thrown at you visually, I guess. ESO also? Oh yeah. I mean, with some titles though, it kind of suits them to look like kind of crap. Like WoW, for example, it's a lot, and like the graphics aren't like super amazing, but it works as well. I mean, I've certainly had people give feedback on like the look of this game, like combat-wise and stuff, and they're like, oh, not really sure how I feel about X, Y, and Z, but I also don't know their experience of what kind of games they played in the past. So, yeah, everyone's got their own way of looking at something and being like, oh, you either like it or you don't, kind of deal. Really, the realism? Yeah, same. Yeah, I think a timer pop-up, I think, would be ideal, because we had the pop-ups on the right-hand side of the UI. I would like to see, maybe, because we've got so much room, I would rather like see it on the left-hand side, to be honest, rather than the right-hand side. It doesn't, I don't know, or have the ability, maybe perhaps, to be able to utilize this, like move the UI, like pop-ups over here, and make them smaller or something. Because you get used to a lot of the visuals that you see eventually. But I mean, that can probably happen in time. But I definitely think having it on the left-hand side, rather than the right hand of the UI, I think would just make sense, to be honest. Like over here, as an example, we've got all of our pop-up stuff over here. So, could we potentially like see all the pop-ups from our materials and stuff? Because we get them down the bottom here, but why not just move them up to the very top left? And then maybe squeeze them down a little bit, so we can at least tailor it, like this box, the chat box, as an example. So things like that can, happen over time, I'd say. But yeah, it's just stuff that I look at and I think, oh, that'd be kind of cool. Be nicer. Yeah, I think left would certainly be visually a lot less overwhelmed, like just sitting on this right-hand side. But yeah, I think overall it's been a really good experience so far, being part of a developing game. It's definitely taught me a lot about player experience, community feedback, people talking about one thing and what creates a conversation, essentially. I try to keep things as solution-based as possible. Like, don't get me wrong, I'll have my whine and whinge about stuff for sure, but I try not to focus on that too much myself, and understanding that it's a developmental game title. I have no doubt that this game will, once it's released in full, it will definitely be a really good one. My god, we just smoked Nimrod out of existence. That was dope. I would really like his armor though. What his bucket had. It looks sick. But yeah, I think yeah, it's a great title. I think Steve and the team are doing a great job. I think there's a lot of bits and pieces that are certainly probably a frustration point for both like development and community sides, but I also think that's just part and parcel of being, part of a pre-alpha, essentially. But I enjoy it. So, and I don't really feel that they've done anything to not acknowledge, like they're very good at acknowledging and building community in the way of, say, if there's a huge amount of people saying, hey, we really don't like X, Y, and Z, here's our reason, they'd listen to that. So I think as far as coming over from a different title and just seeing the differences of how different developmental studios or games developers work, I can certainly say that hands down, like D build on community, very much so. So it's, to me, it's a privilege to be part of this game development, and also enjoying the fact that I can play both Warframe and Soulframe and see the like little nuances in their own way translated from one game to a different style in their own ways. I think it's really nice. I really enjoy that, and I played Warframe for like years, so I think the ability to become part of the foundership. And this particular title has been, I think, quite rewarding. And it's just, I don't know, it's a nice experience, I'd say. And just, you know, actually meeting the devs in person this year for myself was awesome. Like, meeting the guys that make Warframe, like the game that it is, and continue to make it even better each year is really, really nice. I got to meet the creative director, Reb Ford. She's awesome, like really cool. And like Danielle, Zach, like all of the dev team that came over from Canada was like, it was an amazing experience. Like, these guys really know people. So I think, yeah, there's lots of different pluses, I would say. Holy. Okay. Expelliarmus time, eh? Actually, I think what I'm going to do, I am going to run Koga, which is our hard mode. But I'm going to run away from this particular area because I just don't know how far away I have to be to make sure that I can take on a particular siege. In the way that I want to. So we're roughly here. Okay. Hey, bud. You little munchkin. Savage Patch Kids. They are some of my favorite little dudes. Is that a soul in the air? Okay. I am going to have to prepare myself for this Koga run though. It makes me nervous running Koga down. Not because I don't like the challenge, but it's definitely changed, especially since enemy health has been increased, but also their damage. It's a good challenge though. Combat has certainly gotten a lot better, I would say, in the last like 3 months. It's really good. Yo. That's dope. Alright. That's pretty cool. I didn't play Warframe for that long. Oh, true. Oh yeah, D2. I haven't actually played D2. Like, I've heard, like, you know, you hear mixed stuff about everything, but I don't really like jump into too much details on, if I don't really know much about a title, I won't really like give it a plus or minus. So until I try it, you got to experience it. So, and I think that's fair. Don't know if it's going to be a true MMO. Yeah, oh well, that's good to hear. Yeah, I think Soulframe is doing a really good job. I really do. Like, the team have been very responsive. They certainly do give a lot of feedback and take a lot of feedback, and I think that's a huge benefit to joining the Soulframe ship, so to speak. So it's good to hear that, you know, you're feeling it's a good title to step into, which is great. Like, I would honestly say, like add yourself onto the Soulframe Discord and just giving that feedback, like positive feedback, is really nice, you know. And I think they would appreciate it as well. I really do. I am thinking I'm gonna run. I think I'm going to stay with a courage-based build, but I want to build at least a bit more magical armor, I think. So what we're going to do is one the wizards. Oh, okay, so that gives me a really low amount. So we've got to rebalance here. So I'm going to do Spirit, which is not exactly how I want this to run, but I do want a high efficiency of magic armor. I'm going to need it. So 40 physical damage, 64, 67. That'll do. But then I lose the efficiency on that, so I'm going to do Triune. Bugger, I need one more point in. See, that's the thing. Going like full all out is beneficial to a degree. That would be sufficient. Druid of Iridus it is. Okay. Perfect. I'm basing it around this Duello Pact. I am going to take the Orst. But yeah, like, how are you feeling the, I guess, like, the weapons difference in Soulframe in comparison to New World? I'm kind of glad that we got the flintlock now, to be honest. There was someone I was talking with, I think it was a while ago. They were saying, oh, I'd love to see like a gun in this game. And I'm like, no. But seeing it be implemented the way that it has been, it's been really nice, to be honest. And this pact itself is very nice. Very good. I love this pact. It's one of my favorites. Did I... Okay, so I do have the Hollowing Rain on. Did that not adapt to the... Okay, so we do have life regen on elixirs, so that's a plus. Okay, that's good to know. It wasn't really showing up before. And I don't have sympathy on. My bad. That's not... Actually, you know what? Bugger it, I don't need it. I'm gonna eat people alive. Hell yeah. I love this weapon. Is this still deep? Oh wow, okay. So you can still see underneath the water, and you can run through it. Hey, there's a duck. Hey, bud. Okay. We have an invisible... Oh, shit, it's a rat? What? Okay. And underneath the water it goes. Okie dokie. I like the murkiness. It's really cool. But yeah, that's a bit funny that... Wait. Aren't we supposed to be able to swim? Are we not just... Are we not supposed to swim? Maybe this hasn't been coded yet. Anyway. I'm gonna put that in now. Thingo. Oh, you got the juniper bow? Nice. Yeah, Grin's great. That's a very good secondary. Yeah. Yeah, no, it's okay. Soulframe's been pretty easy to learn the basics. Yeah, they're generally pretty good. Yeah. It's definitely good to know swim water in Northeast. I'm just doing some markers so I can like clip stuff out and send it off to like feedbacks and whatever. I think the overarching process on learning basic like mechanics of the game, for the most part, it's, you know, you've got your rolls and your blocks, parries and all that sort of stuff. A lot of the internalized mechanics and how the game introduces things, more so like Soul Sight, doing pull smites as well. That is actually something I do spend a little bit of time on, like just producing like small like editorial videos basically. Keybinds is something I generally go through, but for the most part, like learning how to block and kick, but also I like to point out some of the like finer details that you only learn through like playing the game. So kick is also like a a utility kind of action button, basically. Pulse Smite and Spectral Sights also do multiple different things as well. We've got the Weapon Rune keybind, which is nice. But like learning how to do like your heavy attacks, which is one part to like a key function, but also your aim sights is also your block button. So it's just bits and pieces like that is what I like finding out. And then just building like just little editorial like videos for people to just get like a little bit of a leg up. And that's also something I really enjoy part of this game. Is just learning, you know, new bits and pieces, how they operate in the game. But for the most part, like every new games, like you find some stuff out pretty quickly. So yeah. I mean, I can show you one of the other builds on one of the other packs. Essentially, there's three different packs that can pick up on the kick mechanic in a different way. Garen Rude is one of them. It's very fun. The reason why I'm mentioning this one is because you can headbutt. And you can, like, go really horny. Literally. But that's your kick mechanic with Garen Rude. It's actually pretty cool. So that's one of them. Orindor is the She-Wolf Mother Pact. It's pretty good. She has the ability to use a claw. Which is... sometimes it'll show up, sometimes it doesn't. It will show up differently on both male and female forms. But this is her kick mechanic, which is just whipping up these like ethereal blades. You've got to be really close to the enemies. It can be a bit of a glass build though, in that respect. Yeah, Garen Rude's pretty dope. I actually might bring that out for the run. Tempest is also a different utility for the kick mechanic too. If you're close enough to enemies, you do kick them, which is fine. But it also has a passive that allows you to basically hook yourself onto enemies. So it is very useful to move around like a whole bunch of different enemies. So I'll just go up to the place that I was going to go up to. And I'm actually just bring Tempest, to be honest. I like Tempest. It's an interesting pact. I do like the, I guess, utility of it in its essence of what it does. But say, for example, you're a little bit far away from an enemy and you want to get closer, you just got to aim at them. And as long as you, like, you can force aim as well. But basically, you can kick people, but also if you run away and you're a little bit too far away from someone, you can actually pull yourself back over to them. And basically just get in them up. And just pull yourself to different enemies all the way through. So you can actually make this like a melee-based pact if you really want to. But it is pretty fun to use. It's an interesting pact, I'll say that. But you can certainly move yourself around very quickly and just decimate people. So Garen Rudes is pretty fun though. The ability to like headbutt from like this far away is pretty cool. But Ode Tempest definitely uses the range mechanic a lot more efficiently, I would say, over some of the other packs. Very fun though. But I also enjoy this pact for its specific voltaic damage output. It does look like it was detailed a little bit differently this patch, but I really do enjoy it. So if you've got the Odin Silk passive, it's like, what's that, like almost, I don't know, 20 meters away? You can literally pull yourself that quickly to an enemy and then just shroud yourself with shields, pop your two, and just let these guys hit you. And it basically staggers them, which is quite satisfying. And it basically will reflect their damage back at all of the others in this AoE. So it's a bit of an interesting one, pact-wise, but it is effective. So yeah, no problem. interesting fact overall, though. I mean, I'd probably say there's multiple different ways that you can build a lot of different packs. This one specifically, I generally will run a short blade. So a dual blade will suffice. The reason why is because it gives me access to... I'll probably run this, actually. Do we have Orangol? Oh, we can chuck on Orangol. Absolutely. Although that loses the efficiency of magic, so I do need... I'll chuck on Oleg stuff. Basically, it just enhances your damage output. Smaller amounts of damage, but overall, it definitely does give you a little bit more efficient damage output, essentially. Most packs, or all packs rather, do feed virtue points back into your overarching prism, all of these numbers. So, as a rule of thumb, I generally build all the way 6 points full into all of these, but also sympathy. So when your enemies glow, you can steal their soul and heal yourself completely and very quickly. Yeah, it's a really cool system, I think. So it's really fun. Dingo Boom, hey, what's going on? Oh, you just crafted a Tempest, right? Nice, yeah. It's very good. I'd probably say when you're first building it, definitely build into like courage first. I would not be... I mean, I don't really build into Lightning Strike. I find that utilizing Gravitate just to move around the map or around the battle is really well worth it. But building these are essential, I feel, when you're running any pact, until you maximize it, essentially. Healer, I honestly wouldn't build into that just now. It doesn't really do much, unfortunately. It's definitely worth building into your virtues, though, because they will translate over to your virtues big time. So, yeah, it's definitely worth doing that with all of them. Yeah, I would, yes. Gravitate is great. It gives you more range, basically. I mean, I can even just do 1-to-1. And I'll show you how it works just with the passive. Some passives are worth like completely building into. Some of them are absolutely useless. Most of the packs are very useful. But as an example, Gravitate, if these chumps stop running after me, I can show you. It basically just helps you build out more damage, basically. It's definitely worthwhile building into Gravitate, I feel, because it does do more damage, basically. The reason why I put the Ode Tempest with Odiak is because they're voltaics, so they kind of help each other in that respect. But you mostly just want to build for survivability on Atmosphere and Astrosphere. These two synergize really, really well together. You definitely want to be using this as much as you possibly can, which is the blue orb that floats around you. But Gravitate, essentially, it's striking and dealing additional damage. So, as a rule of thumb, what you could do, you could put equal points into both of these, and they will both work really well. You do sacrifice one thing for another. So, rule of thumb, while you're leveling at least, depending on what kind of build you're building around, whether it's Spirit, Courage, or Grace, depending on your armor of what you're using, or what you have access to. Courage is probably a useful one for Ode Tempest, but whatever prism you're running, you need to run, okay, what ability do I want to build around? I would honestly say build a Grace build for Ode Tempest, because your shield will last a lot longer. If you build Spirit, the Astrosphere will stay a lot longer, and then if you build Courage, you build Sizemore power, basically. But this is the most efficient, probably the most useful tool in the Ode Tempest kit, So I would honestly say running that with grace is far more effective, I would say, rather than like probably more. You can certainly build more points up into grace, so I can build up roughly up to like 45 points of grace. I'd lose spirit, I'd lose courage, so I can utilize this particular weapon because its virtue requirement is grace. But as far as the efficiency of being able to utilize this particular weapon, I need to satiate a virtue requirement of 6 points in courage at least. So it's not, just a balancing act, really. So say, for example, if I've got 6 spirit, 6 courage, 37 grace, these will light up and show me that I can actually utilize the full damage output, plus I get the benefits of using Orangor's armor. So there's a lot of stuff to play around with. I would definitely say learning to adapt your totems is also something that's very useful. Reason being is because they can actually boost your armor even further, which is beneficial. So yeah. Sizemore, yeah. Lightning strikes underwhelming. We should do more like voltaic. Yeah, like, I mean, I think from memory, I didn't get to experience it myself, but I think O Tempest used to have like a ball ability that the little floating orb, that like a atmosphere, it was like a chain lightning gun, basically, and it blows me away why they removed it. I don't understand why they would have taken that away. I feel like a lot of players would have really enjoyed it. Sizemore's cool, but I would rather a bloody chain lightning ball, to be honest. I think it'd be really cool. But essentially, like, you could build O Tempest equally between these two. You do lose a few points in your stats, but overall, like, as long as you're satiating a virtue requirement, the primary, you'll be fine, essentially. But with armor, split scaling, and all that sort of jazz, it's a little bit convoluted, if you ask me. But as far as building is concerned, as long as you know, like, the foundations of, okay, I want to use this weapon, I need 10 points of grace, and then this one I need like 6 points of courage and 6 points of spirit, then at least you know with these numbers, these lit up with the little icons, with the, like the sun and the moons, you know that they're going to be operating for your build, and you can certainly see that throughout your armor rating up the top. So yeah, there's a lot of different ways that we can build in this game, and granted, I think some of the starting kits are not ideal, especially these ones. Like, when you first start out, you really don't need a lot of armor, but at least having magic armor, or at least a pip of magic defenses in the starting kits, I think would be appropriate. Yeah, it's quite a lot of interesting systems, if you ask me. But overall, like, O Tempest, I think is, you know, it's a very viable pact. I think it works really well. Still feel, yeah, having the ability to pull out a chain lightning ball would be really fun. So, but essentially, you just want to bowl people up and go ham. And that actually does an absolute crap ton of damage to them. So it's being able to utilize the tools that you have, because there are a lot in the game. It's just knowing how to use the base foundations, and just kind of tweaking them to your advantage, basically. But yeah, very much a very fun hack, I would say. You can certainly cause a lot of damage with this pact. But you do have to be relatively tanky to be able to take on the damage output from enemies as well. So, bugger, I forgot to put on Koga. Oh well, that's alright. I won't do Koga for the mages. But yeah, if you guys have got like questions on builds or how to utilize things, I'm more than happy to share out the information on that. I definitely enjoy taking all the systems and just making it just palatable informationally. Oh, we have a hare. Wonderful. It's been so far. Dope. I like that. That's always good feedback. Oh, Duello's awesome, dude. If you like Duello, I would honestly say build into something that's built into the... I think it's Olo. Yeah, this one here. I would honestly say build into Mora's Pride and then fill out at least your stats, but definitely build into this. This bleed is insane. You can take massive advantage on it. Depending on what weapons that you use, I definitely find if you've got like a casting weapon, as an example, I'll take it against the mages up here. Like, I'll show you what it can do. It's just stupendously good. Casting weapons are very efficient at applying its passive. It does say on dodge rolls or like perfect dodges, it's actually ignoring that. So you can take full advantage of the fact that you can apply a bleed proc very quickly on these dudes and they die. It's very good. And that's literally an under-leveled weapon that I'm using. Granted, I do have joineries on it. And also, yes, I do have, you know, bigger like amounts of stuff in that respect. But if you put a courage joinery on there, say like a Gildor with 3 of the courage pips, this thing will just shit over enemies. It's very good. Very strong. So as long as you're meeting your requirements for your prism use and your armor, it will shit all over enemies. It's really good. Wondering how ranking up individual arcanics affects them. In the sense of like, you get packed arcanics, you mean? Oh, you haven't tried joiners yet? Okay, yeah. They are useful. Basically, they help you meet the requirements of like weapons, basically. So I would honestly say, even if you're like first starting out, whatever attunement the weapon has, if it's courage, grace, or spirit, just lean into that. Just go with it. You can, for the most part, ignore some of the secondaries, virtue requirements. If its primary is mostly met, you should be okay. But there are some that you will need to meet both. So like a grace and spirit, or courage and grace, or courage and spirit prism setup. As long as you meet after the dash, so it's like 8 points of virtue requirement, I've actually got 12 points of courage. So I've got more points than I'm necessary for that virtue requirement. The secondary requirements you do need to meet on certain things, but for the most part, if you don't meet the initial primary requirement up on top, it's not going to benefit the weapon until you do. So yeah, it's pretty cool stuff. But I think with the primary and secondary like requirements and stuff, I feel like that's what the joineries are supposed to be able to do, is basically as you level the weapon, the damage output increases because you've added more pips of that particular joinery's attunement blessing to that weapon. So if you've started off with Thistle, you can put a joinery on it. If you have the Blessed by Safine, like this color joinery for bows, you can go put this into that weapon, and you can benefit from the Grace scaling pips. So if you've got 3 pips on a weapon, you won't actually have to re-level your weapon, you're just adding the joinery on. So you'll get 4 pips out of that. And you can see it's a level 26, its attack damage is plus 72, which is like 108 damage per hit. So it's pretty good stuff. So say, for example, you've got a weapon that is like a courage-based weapon, you can add more pips of courage on it and so forth. So the joineries are very much worthwhile using. You will certainly see a big jump in your damage output, which is good. But certain virtues will operate better than others will. Grace is one of those that will operate well, but you've also got to work on the foundations of if it's like a longsword or like heavy equipment weaponry, generally 9 times out of 10 it's courage based. I've chosen to take the basics of what I know and bend the rules slightly, because I know that Grace's scaling damage is much better than courage. So instead of putting a courage joinery on this vetch weapon, which I could easily put a courage joinery on, I've chosen to put Grace. But it's mostly so I can play around with the testing and damage output to see how Grace is actually operating in comparison to, say, courage or spirit. So a little bit more like advanced in that sense, but it's also just, it's trying to figure out like the reasons why Grace is better than like spirit and courage. So but for the most part, I just know that Grace is extremely good, and it's better than putting a joinery of spirit on a weapon, even though magic weapons want spirit. So yeah, it's a whole kettle of fish. But whatever the virtue requirements are for a weapon, I would honestly say just put a 3-star pip of that particular virtue on and you'll be fine. Interesting systems. Oh yeah, Grace is great. I could probably even bring out Siren, to be honest. Siren is very good at what it does, and you can certainly build into a like a mage kind of like sneak assassin, which I don't mind doing from time to time. To be honest, I will generally run a full Grace build for Siren, Orangle's Cuirass. Let's have a look. Say, for example, I can take Gwillin, or even like, yeah, actually I'll take Gwillin. What do we got? We got Arcstorm, physical, magical defenses. Okay, so let's do... Alright, so I'm going to take this one as a Grace-based attuned Odiak. So I've got the 3-star Blessing of Safine on this. So it does do more damage because of the way that Grace is scaling. And I can also get an absolute crap ton of armor. So I've got physical mitigation at 70 armor on physical, 56 magical, and 55 stability. Defenses, so 181 armor. As far as the build, I do have both the Paragon pack and the base set up, so that's why I can have a full build basically. But also why I can achieve such high stats with this particular setup. So let's see if I can actually tweak that even more. 7, 8. Yep, we're good to go. So 187 armor, so I should be more than fine. Oh, you just got Siren? Yeah, nice. Siren is good. I would honestly say build into the Grace efficiencies of your packed Arcanics, and you'll be in for a treat. For sure. It's an interesting pact, I have to say that. With the particular setup that I do have, my weapon is not anywhere near, yeah, it's level 1. So I'm going to be relying heavily on the Odiak for this. Reason being is because my weapon is too underleveled to be able to do any damage whatsoever. But the benefits of having the full-blown pact is that I can basically affect the health behind the armor and basically just ignore it with pick tricks, which is beneficial. So there are benefits to be able to using the pit tricks and the decoy, the serum, but it does have to be maximized. And there is a difference between the, I guess, the setup that I've got, because I've got the Paragon Wild Pact, but I've also got the base pact. So I can take full advantage of everything and basically utilize a really crappy leveled weapon and be able to bypass the armor of enemies. Depending on their level, though, it's different against the Agari bosses, even more so against the Koga variants as well. So it's a very interesting system, I would have to say that. But as far as, say, these guys having, you know, half health still, I can basically just say, screw your armor, thank you very much, and basically just smash the crap out of them and have no problem killing them. So, recommend any great swords? Yeah, there's only 3 great swords. I mean, all 3 of them are pretty good. I'd probably say, I mean, the Paragon is unique in the fact that it's a 3-star or 3-tiered system of the virtues, so it aligns best with all 3. I essentially could actually run that with a grayscaled joinery as well. So to give you an example of reforging, because of the uniqueness of this weapon and that it's a 3 virtue system, I should be able to get a decent amount of damage output with grace on top, instead of using the courage joinery. So at the moment I've got 149 attack. If I do have a 3-star joinery for grace, that should push, yeah, it does. So it pushes my damage even further at the level of the weapon, but then it translates all of that damage output over to grace as well. So I can reforge that now, and it still should be level 27. So to check that, I'll just check inventory and have a look. Yeah, we got 208 attack damage on a grace-based Paragon sword. So it's going to benefit most if I have the highest scaling prism active for the joinery that I'm using on this weapon. So very unique in the sense that it can take advantage of all 3 virtues, but the fact that grace is such a powerhouse, it basically just means I can do that in about 2 to 3 hits on a level 42, which is not too bad at all. It's very fun stuff. But if you don't have the Paragon pack, Needle's Eye is just as good. I'd probably say Purity is probably a little bit more powerful. But Purity also just looks really nice as well, so it's really up to what you like to use. Oh my god. As if I want to charm an animal in between battle. Sweet lord. Get out of here. That's crazy, man. Squirrel, get out of here. Honestly, I really don't need you right now. Oh my god. Have you guys experienced that? I'm sure that you have. Oh my god. I really wish that didn't happen. So we're basically utilizing Siren as a mage caster build. So you can certainly do a whole bunch of stuff. If you haven't done Mirror Fuel, I would highly recommend bringing a mage caster weapon at least, so you can deflect the magic damage from these dudes. These guys are pretty strong as well. Like, this isn't even Koga as well, so they can be quite dangerous, I would say, because if you don't have magical defenses or high enough defenses, you're gonna have a struggle street against these chumps. So my favorite is Denison. Yeah, no problem. You're welcome. I just like sharing the information. Like, it just makes your guys' job, like, role and, like, experience, rather, in Soulframe a lot easier just by explaining a lot of this stuff, because I wish I had more understanding of it when I first started. So it's why I like doing the live stuff, to be honest. It just makes it a lot easier, I think. And just sharing knowledge. I think that's a good thing to do. Okay, Venison. But yeah, I mean, the amount of systems that we do have, like, you can make pretty much anything that you want work, as long as you know, like, yeah, like the base foundations of the why. This probably isn't the most effective mage build, because it is more grace based, so it's probably like more glass cannon than anything. But I enjoy this particular setup with Siren anyway, though. But more so if I had access to even like a bow, as an example. Grace is a very good user of bows for multiple reasons, but it's very good. Oh yeah. Yeah, the systems are decent. They can definitely be vague. You're not wrong there. But overall, like, for the most part, yeah, if you know how to tweak them to your advantage, for the most part, you're in a good spot. So what's that? Let's try. I'm gonna do all except, to be honest, because I need a lot more mage defenses, I think. It's probably not the most ideal setup, though. Let's do the wizards. So I need 7 grace, eh? Right here. I think with the way that things are going with this type of setup, it's a weird system, if you ask me. The way that they've chosen how to build these particular builds, I find is interesting. I'll say that. So 1046. All right, so we're all good there. And we got 64 magic armor. So, yeah, it's an interesting, like, tweak and, you know, figuring stuff out. I'm definitely finding it with this newer, like, prism thing. I mean, it's no different, really, than what we originally had, I think, with the prisms of being able to, like, plus and minus points. I found it a little bit easier doing it that way, rather than doing, like, the whole pick the little thing up and, you know, tweak your build that way. But the fact that we've got to go and get like a resource to re-spec the setup is, I feel like it's a little bit of a, I don't really know. I don't think I personally really like it that much. I feel like it's just one more thing to do, and for what reason, I'm not really sure. And granted, I haven't actually used bows for quite a while. But bows with Siren, very nice. Like, you can just smash anything, basically. Yeah, I think that's mostly what I've been noticing too. Like, I don't think a lot of people are really with it, to be honest. I don't think it's a good idea, personally. Because when I first started, we had the ability and the freedom to like min-max our build with no cost to it. So I find, what's the reason for putting a cost in now to be able to almost freely tweak our build? Like, I don't understand that. So yeah, it's, I don't get it. In short, basically. I think it's a bit of a, like, I don't really know what to say about it. Yeah, like the prism slide is fine. Yeah, totally. Like, I think those sorts of elements are really cool, but I don't understand why do we have to have a resource again, to build like a build? I can't really understand why. It really just doesn't make sense to me as to why we would be using a resource when we were able to freely pick and choose what we were like doing with our builds before. So yeah, very confused, I would say, is the best thing that I can say. Is that cool? It's great. I like, you know, playing around with stuff, but why do I have to spend a resource? And I'm already down to like, excuse me, I'm already down to like 28 points of like the lith stuff, when all I want to do is just like shift and change my build a little bit, and that's it. Like, why do we have to do this? Yeah. I mean, the grinding aspect is, that's a given, you know, like, it's not a problem. We're fully aware that we've got to go grind stuff and find stuff out in the world, but why do I have to, like, why do I have to do this? It doesn't make sense to me at all. I feel like it's just another thing to do just because. But there's no reason because, you know, like, it makes zero sense to me. Like, zero. And I'm sure that there's a lot of people feeling that, being like, we had the ability to do this before, but with no cost, and now we have to go and grind out something called a lith? Like, what's the reason? So, yeah, I mean, I don't know what else to say on that. Pretty little butterfly that can sting. Goodbye, Hydor. Can I have your other key? Sweet as. Excusez-moi. So how much healing do we get from these life elixirs? Yo, that's got to be increased, man. Holy shit. Even on level 40 is like, it's a good step in the right direction, I would say. But holy shit, that incremental creeping of health is not doing shit. So it packs individual Arcanics rank up. Basically, yeah. So on a rule of thumb, I think it's like roughly every like 3 levels, or 5. No, it would be 3. So say for example, like with Siren, you start with the 3rd ability active, and then once you get the pack to rank 10, you have access to all 3, and then they go up rank 1, 2, and 3, all the way up to 30. So basically by the time you rank, you're packed up, it's basically, they're all like max level 3 in that sense. I'd probably say it probably doesn't take that long to level up most of the packs. Some of them are a little bit easier than others. I'd probably say probably Orangul is probably one of the more difficult ones to level. Siren, I have no idea why they chose the butterfly to be the first one, but it is what it is. Garant is relatively easy because it's a direct damage output. Bromius, kind of the same deal. Oshelda, fantastic. Like, there's no problem with Oshelda. I love Oshelda. It's a very good, very versatile pact. It's sensational. I really enjoy Oshelda. I always have. It was the first pack that I had. Tethrin, easy. Like, you got Fellist. Just keep using all of its abilities. It's really quick, it's fun, it's nice. Mora's Hand, really, really good. Ignite Mora. It's a little bit slow to start with, but once you get the Inferno, it's actually quite good. I have been using a little bit more of Mora's Hand recently. Smolder I really enjoy. The increased flame damage, but bursting flames. I tend to use this passive more than the Hungry Flame, but technically when we're taking flame damage, we do more damage. So it's basically based off this particular ability here. So if you put on your defensive flame and you do more of a spirit aligned build, this will last longer, inherently boosting Hungry Flame's flame damage, or weapon damage rather. So I generally like using Smolder though for this one, which is quite good. Yeah. So you got your 30 levels on your pack mechanics, which is built into the leveling of the pack basically. So 10, 20, 30, and you got 3 levels. So basically 1, 2, 3 built into 30 levels of each pack. Hello, mage people. Let's set you on fire. The efficiency of the AoEs of the flame damage have certainly been increased, which is real nice for this particular pact. Lots of flame damage. It's very fun. And you can actually survive with this pack now, thank Christ. There was a few times where this particular pact was just not able to keep you alive at all. So you can certainly keep dishing out damage, which is really good, as long as you at least top your health off every once in a while. But the flame damage output is a lot better than what it used to be, so it's far more effective than it used to be. Where are you, Petra? Come on, chump. Lucky that he can't heal himself. Or themselves. Goodbye. Are you gonna go? Nice. I'm on the East Coast. Oh, true. Well, thank you very much for joining. It was lovely to meet you and chat with you as well. Sleep well. We died. Oh well. Come on, little fat rat. You gotta earn your little cheesy nibbles, my friend. No way, you can block that? Yeah, wow. Let's try. Mora's Hand is really, really good, dude. Very good. It's very fun. You do have to make sure that you kind of watch your health economy, but it's very fun. It's very flashy, I'll say that. But yeah, flame damage is quite good. And I'm gonna have to watch myself now. I don't think I've actually got any healing on this pact, unfortunately. Can you send me your heavy attack, please? Or maybe not. Okay. There we go. I'm gonna get shaky with you two. Please, sir, don't hurt me. Oh no. Shit. That was close. Alright. Nope. No, no. Nope. No and no. Give me a headshot. Come on. Not me. God damn it. That was so close too. Oh well. Come on, cheesy nibbles. We gotta earn these. I probably should change the build on this though. It's been a while. Oh, venison. And bonky stick. There we go. Off the edge. Who done it? Yeah, I definitely need to change the build on this one. Survivability is key. What rank is that? Failed. Oh, B tier, what? Okay. The Arcstorm. Amazing. There we go, bud. Alright. We need to go change the build on this little pact, I feel. So what do? We have a Otto's Ranger, not too shabby. Hope the new Robgot runes gets expanded. Oh hell yeah. It's so good. I love the Robgot. I haven't been there since pretty much since the update, I think. I may actually build more spirit this time. Bit of smolder. I'm gonna do an equal build on this one, I think. Then I'll see what I have left over. Voided, I'm gonna leave it out, but I'll build into that. And I'll just do a little bit of voided. So that should work a little bit more effectively. I could do more courage, but spirit and grace efficiency will work well. There's Orangor stuff. Oh wow, okay, so I go down. So that gives me a little bit more efficiency in mage class. So that's good. Yeah, we might actually... I don't know why I didn't do that. Actually, no. Yeah, that's not much difference though, hey. We'll keep it like that, I think. So 135. Okay. You're gonna call it a 9 as well? No problem. Yeah, you're very welcome. You are welcome to join anytime. It's probably about time for me to wrap up anyway. So, hope you guys enjoyed. It was really nice to chat with you guys as well. So, yeah, it'll be good to see you guys again. Glad the info helped. Alright. Upgrade. Let's have a look. Funky sticks. What do we got? So they're all military. Okay. So that officer one is the best one that I've got so far. Sweet lord. Okay. think I'm just going to keep that one and just rip these ones out. But I want to see how many spaces I've got left. Hello, capitalist Camel. Got 9 left. Sweet Christ. So, which one's the one that I've got though? Which one's the one that I've got equipped? Ah, that's annoying. 300. Wow. Actually, I'll be able to tell. Yeah, there we go. Alright. So, 16 capacity. So why can't we see that in our inventory? Wouldn't that be nice? All items / out of how many that we have would be great. Alright. Let's go make some Golga potions. And then I'm probably going to wrap up. I am hungry.
It brings us a nibble?
It does bring me nibble.
Then tell it we are busy.
Nibble of lunch. So 30. Builder. Bugger, I need more of the, what's it called? Jaden drops. Okay.
Your
Oops.
aura
That's not what I
is
want.
showing.
I kind of want to feel like Judge Judy though. Like, I'm going to judge you. I'm not really sure how I feel about that. Although, it does look kind of cool. Maybe Red Riding Hood? Nah. Although that is really chunky. I do like chunky. Yeah, let's do that. It's very Final Fantasy. Let's have a look. What else have we got? We got the Wazard robes. That's actually kind of dope. Actually, I like that. It's very regal. Arengol and Gaddon. And I do like the fur, so let's do with that. Dark metal. That seems more suitable. Dark steel? Indeed. Sigil and sigil. Actually, I like that better. Where's the other gold? There we go. So that's dark. Right, okay.
Yes, this is so you.
Don't know how I feel about that. That actually looks a bit nicer. Yeah, that's sweet. Alright. I think we're done. No, my lord. Alright, Muffin Hand. It's your turn. Oh, so that's the metal. Right, okay. We have Golden Lord. I've got no idea what that is. Is that the bell? Oh, it's the string. Oh, it's the stitching. Right, okay. Right. We'll do the Dark Muffin Man. There we go. Here's our new, Bastion. Final Fantasy 12 style. Yeah, let's do it. Alright. Bonk Stick Lady. Alright. Cool. Well, I hope you guys have enjoyed. I think I'll wrap up here, and I will see you guys when I see you. Enjoy. Ciao for now.